Hey, this is Mark Henry, author of Dancing with Energy, Healing, Magic, and Mysticism. I'm here to talk to you more about the occult and the paranormal. Well, today I'm going to be talking about something a little different, but not too different. I always enjoy when I'm on the internet and I come across something that connects worldly affairs with something regarding the occult. For example, a few years ago, I did a video on a group of witches who were organizing to cast a curse against Donald Trump. Well, we have something similar today. We have the case of a Ukrainian oligarch who states that he cast a Jewish curse against Vladimir Putin. So that's going to be the subject of our talk today. All right, before I begin, a few housekeeping things. As usual, if you like the content of this video, I have more content on my Patreon, including private messaging and bonuses like readings and different things. So if you are interested in those things, then I'll put a link in the description at the bottom. Also, I have an Etsy store, so if you want to level up your magic, improve your life, then check out my attunement store. It's a connection to a spirit or even a particular faculty, ability. For example, I recently added Pan, the Greek god, to the store, and I also have mystical perception, which is fairly new too. Also, in case you weren't aware of it, Monday the 22nd is my birthday, so I have decided for us all to celebrate, I am going to temporarily lower the prices of my attunements so that you can get something if you are interested in attunement, and I can make a few sales and that we all can celebrate together. Also, last year I had some people who were like, well, I don't really want to buy anything, but I do want to give you a few dollars for your birthday. So for those people who fall in that category, then I will put a link to my PayPal at the bottom if you just want to be nice and throw me a few shillings my way. Okay, so let's get started with today's video. So Russian oligarch Hennedy Korman states that he cast a Jewish death curse against Vladimir Putin. So this rite is called the pulsa genera. It is a term that is found in several Jewish texts. Now, some say that this rite is in the Zohar, but I can't find any evidence of that. What I'm reading is that this rite somehow showed up in the 20th century. So I don't think that it was well developed. It was probably developed by a group of Kabbalists who felt that there was a need for such a thing. So what the rite involves, the big picture, is that it summons a collection of destructive angels to basically bring chaos and death to the chosen target. Now, if you look at the Old Testament, if that is to be believed, the metaphysical aspects of it, you would have examples of Sodom and Gomorrah and other things where, the angels could come down and kill everybody in a city. So if that is the case, then they can certainly take down a world leader if that was somehow thrown into place. Now the rite has said to already have been wielded towards certain people that died. For example, the prime ministers of Israel, Yitzhak Rabin, who died in 2005 of an assassination, and Ariel Sharon in 2014, who had a stroke, went into a coma, and died. Those are two targets that are said to have been the victims of this particular curse, along with some others. So what is involved in this curse? Well, I don't think that I have all of the information, and I suspect that if it's a Kabbalistic rite, that some of it probably is secret. It's kind of like insider type of information. However, what is being circulated is that it involves 10 pious Jews who are trained and initiated into the Kabbalah and are specifically trained in this rite. They are fast for 3 days. There is a lighting of black candles and a blowing of I think it's called the shofar, which is a ram's horn during this particular ritual. And then there's the blowing out of candles. Previous to the blowing out of the candles, there's the chanting of the magical words that are cursing the individual. Now, the requirements are that the participants must be pious and righteous in their intentions, and it has to be an appropriate target. I don't know what necessarily appropriate would mean, whether it would be somebody who has done sufficient wrong against God. I was reading something about that this rite prevents the person from receiving any type of forgiveness for their sins, and that it's almost like this brings out some type of backlash against them. But getting back to what I was saying, that if these requirements aren't met, if people aren't clear and pure in their intentions, they're not righteous, and it's not an appropriate target, that this ritual is designed to reverse itself on the participants, and they themselves could die from participating in this rite. Now, so what do you make of this so far? What I read left me with more questions than answers. For example, is it customary for someone to announce that this death curse has been placed on a public figure? You know, I know that when we talk about a lot of Western magic, it is said, or at least one of the principles is to know, to dare, to will, to keep silent, which is that while the working is being done, or while when the outcome has not been achieved yet, then you don't speak about it. You can talk about it maybe afterwards. But Vladimir Putin is still alive, so this still may be in the works. Another question, is it so powerful that it can be proclaimed and there is no counter defenses, there's no reversing this, no protection against the victim of this particular curse? A possibility that could be part of this tradition, that this is supposed to be so something so overwhelming and certain that why not speak of it? Another question I had was, is this person not afraid of retaliation from Vladimir Putin? Vladimir Putin has killed people for far less than what he says that he's doing. In fact, that was one of the reasons why it's said to be silent. One is that you don't want retaliation. You don't want the person to know what you're doing, because then they could protect themselves. So maybe I've actually contacted a friend of mine who's very knowledgeable about the Kabbalah, regarding this particular rite, and I was going to see what he said about the way that this kind of played itself out. So I'll keep you updated. Okay, so that is basically it. Give me your thoughts in the comment section. This is kind of something unusual that doesn't come around too much. Alright, so please subscribe and like. Again, I'll put the links in the description at the bottom. Take care, and you have a good weekend.